Hey, welcome back folks, Jayborino here, continuing StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. We're on the second Shakuras mission, Last Stand. Pretty challenging holdout.
This was not an easy decision, but I would rather see Shakuras destroyed than overwhelmed by Amon's Zerg. We have much to plan, Hierarch.
Alright, we get the monoliths this mission. Very high damage, but they shoot really slow. Destroy the Zenith Stones within the first 10 minutes. Hold out until 1.8 billion Zerg arrive on Shakuras. The bonus objective requires 1.5, so we got a little bit higher than that. And grab that achievement as well. Solarite allocation. I'm going to go with Chrono Surge so that we can saturate our second Nexus very quickly, and then we'll put the rest into construction time for all of the defensive structures we'll be building this time around. And then for units...
Cloaked warriors are now available for deployment.
This will sort of handicap us, but I say let's go all Ire units, because the Ire units will cover the Nerazim's retreat, as they did for us on Ire during Brood War.
Many of my Dark Templar have volunteered to act as scouts for us. They will keep us aware of Amon's movements.
And that gives us the opportunity to use those Avengers at least once. Okay, let's get started.
Tell me, Vorazun, how will we bring destruction to your world?
The Zelnaga Temple's phase prism can be overloaded, forcing a spike of energy into the planet's core. Enough of a charge, and the planet will shatter. Amon will not possess my world.
I have been thinking about this choice.
Are you reconsidering?
No. My time here has reminded me of the courage of your people. That we must fight. If we are to suffer, then so too will Amon. We will lure as many of Amon's hybrid and Zerg through the gateway as we can. Only once enough are through to wound him will we overload the temple and flee.
You mean to bleed him? Bold. But we can't risk the forces it would require to do such a thing.
Leave that to me, Matriarch. I have learned much from the Dark Templar.
The Mastery Achievement is to hold out for 2.2 billion Zerg. Because I purposely handicapped myself to not use Dark Templar, and we came to Shakuras first, so we don't have Nexus Overcharge or Solar Lance, I'm not going to be going for that. I don't think I could do it. But the 1.8 should be doable.
Our forces have secured the Zelnaga Temple grounds. Artemis, how go your preparations?
I am configuring the temple now, but without the Uraj and the Callus, it will take time.
Time is not all it will take. The temple's energies are regulated by 3 Zenith Stones. Only once they are destroyed can the temple be overloaded.
Until then, we must defend it from the Zerg and their hybrid masters.
The Nerazim have long used Kaydaran monoliths to protect our lands. I see your Phase-Smith has become familiar with them.
Indeed, Matriarch. The monoliths are quite deadly and fire a considerable distance. They should prove instrumental in our defense.
The moment has come. Let us begin.
So with the Zenith Stones specifically, a lot of this is going to be how much can we get done right at the beginning, which is pretty typical. Just with these units that we're starting with.
The sooner the Zenith Stones are destroyed, the better off we shall be. The Zerg will overwhelm the temple grounds shortly.
Agreed. Although, should it become necessary, my Dark Templar can sneak through the enemy and destroy the stones.
Exercise caution when attacking a Zenith Stone. The energies within may become volatile as it is damaged.
Okay, so we kind of have to babysit the units on the Zenith Stones because it's really irritating. It'll do just random psionic storms all around there, not necessarily on your units. So you can't even predict that it'll do it right on top of your units to avoid. But we're just going to keep making lots of probes at home and eventually get our expansion set up pretty quickly. If these Avengers die, though...
Gather for an attack to the southwest. Ignite your blades, warriors.
if they would have died, then they would have warped back to our Dark Shrine. That's why I set it up so early. If you don't have a Dark Shrine, then they just die, and the Avengers, they don't get that second chance, unfortunately. And then we're going to use Orbital Strike to help us get the last 2. And now I'm going to just save up my resources in order to get my expansion going, and then we'll use the Chrono Boost eventually as well. Okay, so I'm just going to go up with... I can go up with all these units, actually. There's going to be that second attack wave coming. So we want to just hit all these Banelings. Kablam! In fact, we can wait for that next enemy attack, then we'll go down and snag this as well. We'll get one more Avenger. And then, like I had mentioned, we'll save up for our expansion. These building placements are pretty terrible. Like this Forge and Warp Gate I'll probably eventually destroy to make room for more static defense. But for now, again, we'll just sit and wait. We can actually move out with just the Avengers to start, at least. Okay, let's stop. Let's stop building extra stuff so that we can finally get this set down. Okay, and then it's all about where do we go from here. Okay, Avengers, all of you. And then I'm going to leave these Zealots at home. Should be enough.
Another brood of Zerg is preparing to attack from a hive to the northwest.
Okay, now you all just attack. This should be fine. And again, these Avengers will warp back to base because they have multiple lives. They can do it as just over and over and over again. Okay, and we're out of pylons, actually, but we'll be able to get this set up here. Let's get one more Zealot. They roast these Zerglings. That's good. And now let's just go ahead and hotkey these and get as many... Whoa, that's bad. Well, the Avengers are getting warped back. Okay, well, the Dragoons have to finish this up. This should be okay, though. But these guys get warped back to base at full HP, which is quite nice. Now, you can stay. They'll get it eventually. I think they might be able to outrange how far out that can shoot the Psionic Storms. All right, let's send this guy back home. Let's just get everybody to sit out here. No, that was so silly of me. That's all right. I'm going to need at least one more Dragoon eventually. Okay, and then the Dark Templar should kill this Ultralisk really fast. Excellent. Okay, we're going to run these guys up here. I'm going to grab my DTs and run them. Well, they're not. They're Avengers, excuse me. We are going to need tons of Dragoons now.
Artanis, our observers are reporting a vast number of Zerg have poured onto Shakuras.
And yet, not a single hybrid. Amon is testing our resolve.
Did I say tons? We're not going to need tons. We're just going to need a reasonable group of them over time here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is kill the Overseer in the back, weaken this one, hit it once with the Dragoon, and then we can go in and kill the Stone with these Avengers. Okay, and let's go ahead and move back here. Grab a few more.
The Zerg approach the temple from the southeastern accessway.
I was actually hoping some of these would die, that way they get warped back, but unfortunately that's not the case. Alright, Avengers, run back to base and protect us, please, because we're out of supply.
It is done. The Zenith Stones have been destroyed. Once your task is complete, the temple can be overloaded.
Understood. And the temple alignment is proceeding well. Now, we wait for the Zerg.
Okay, that's well before the time period that was necessary. And I'm going to go ahead and grab just more probes.
Ready yourselves, Templar. The Zerg are moving to assault both sides of the temple.
I'm going to Chrono Surge it, and actually I won't have enough pylons to fully capitalize on this, but that's okay. We'll get as many as we... Actually, no, I think I just had some pylons finish. Okay, you all finish that up, and then we have some, you know, the one Zealot there to spin the Zerglings is great, and then my cannons can finish up the rest. So now it's going to be all about just setting up tons and tons of defense and defending each side as best we can. We're going to need a lot of gas over time here. We want to set up pylons up near the front as well of each of these locations. And that's so that we can warp in units in front of our defensive lines when the time is right. Okay, let's just go ahead and just set up a boatload of cannons. I like trying to get this side to be self-sufficient, while the other sides we just use these units to defend with, and we can just keep warping in the occasional Avenger, because they pay for themselves over and over in the sense that when they inevitably die, they still will be able to just come back with full life, and they can do that once every minute, which is pretty awesome. And we can use our energy here with Orbital Strike just to help us out. This looks like a pretty good spot to use it, actually, considering there's just so many, like the Ultralisk specifically, so weakening them there is going to be really useful. Okay, and then let's come down here and just start, I'm going to start setting up defense for the future. So, pylon here, and it's really about when they are attacking from both sides is when this gets tough. Yes, and you can see the Avengers when they warp out, and then the timer starts over. But it's a minute, which is not that long. So then you just get all their HP back, which is quite nice. And keep getting Avengers. Keep setting up probes. I'm gonna grab one more gateway, 2 more gateways. Pylons in the back here. And now I'm gonna focus on just getting more defense along these ledges. Okay, Avenger's pretty good, and then meanwhile over here my static defense is able to self-sustain. Gonna get lots and lots of shield batteries, and again, I'm mostly focusing on one side for defense for now, and they're gonna start dropping on us here soon.
Curious. There are overlords closing on the temple grounds.
I have seen this tactic before. They are transporting ground forces. Destroy the overlords, quickly.
Okay, eventually we're going to be really short on gas, which is why I'm going to try to get more of it now. And let's just go ahead and grab some extra units down here. So they're just going to drop Zerglings, so the Zealots will be really useful, and obviously they're just going to drop on top of Dark Templar and get killed. Next step is I'm going to start building up along these ledges. I'm going to keep pulling probes off of my mineral lines for now. Okay, let's back up now. Now we got to go back to the front. I really need some more defense along the front here. And now we're going to dump so much money into monoliths. It's going to be real nice.
Our readouts indicate there are nearly 500 million Zerg on Shakuras. All of them moving for this temple.
Let them come. The Templar will endure.
Okay, yeah, and we need so many pylons just all over the place. Again, just a couple of the Zealots, the Whirlwind Zealots, are so useful. And we're going to use those to absorb a bunch of Banelings also. And all those Avengers are back alive. Again, I figured this would be a good opportunity to use these Avengers. Like, again, I think Dark Templar are still objectively better, but in any case, I'm going to go ahead and use these now, before I lose the opportunity to. Okay, and then up here we're going to set up some defense along this ledge, because a lot of air units are going to be coming from back here. So this is actually pretty crucial to get all this back here set up, and we're just going to cram in shield batteries wherever we can, along with some cannons. Cannons along the front. Let's back up here. I'm going to chrono boost out the remainder of these upgrades because I want to replace this. Eventually, I want to replace this forge because it's in a really bad spot. So, in fact, why don't we come over here and set this forge up? Okay, looks good. And now we got to split up a little bit. This area down here is not looking good.
Warriors. The Zerg are attacking the temple from all 3 sides at once.
So we'll get our Avengers over here. And now we just got to set up tons and tons of pylons as well. Okay. Good work, Avengers. Now we're going to run you over here, though this area is looking okay as well. I will just set up some occasional extra ones. Again, as soon as they spawn, they can, they'll be able to pop back in and help us out, so. The fact that we made it to this point makes me feel very confident. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be just fine. Again, it's sort of getting through the first part of the map. And let's just get fully saturated as well, because we're not fully saturated. And then as these Avengers respawn, we want to keep moving them out into locations where they can help us out. So I'm going to try to keep some Dragoons out front here. And then keep building large amounts of defense along the front here. Shield batteries, etc., etc. Now, these ones on the edges are going to die to Guardians very quickly, but, you know, we're going to set them up anyway. And you can see we're pretty short on minerals right now. And I need more monoliths along this front ledge for sure. The banelings are the biggest problem. If we can even snipe those with, what am I thinking? Orbital strike. That would probably be ideal.
The Master's gaze falls on your shadow world. By the gods, I have never seen such abomination. Warriors, focus all cannons on the hybrid. We must defend the temple.
Okay, so we're going to have a lot of stuff coming in over here. I'm just going to go ahead and use some orbital strike here just to kind of soften this stuff up. Because my monoliths weren't done yet. Shield batteries and monoliths along this back ledge are going to be really, really good. Okay, we rebuilt our forge, so let's just kill this. Then I'm going to destroy this. Get some more gateways as well. And then I just want to build more pylons down along this bottom section. So more monoliths, really whatever we can fit is going to be the name of the game here. Monoliths are kind of hard to cram into these locations. They don't fit very well. They tend to path block stuff poorly, whereas a lot of the times cannons you can walk through. So we want to keep the Avengers in the front to absorb those Baneling hits, which I did a pretty poor job of. Okay, so I'm going to... yeah, more cannons along this ledge and then monoliths where they'll fit. I think this area down here needs monoliths. So let's get this show on the road. I'm going to leave a little opening so that I can get units in and out constantly. Oh, that's unfortunate. It doesn't, nothing doesn't quite fit back there, but that's okay. We'll set up monoliths along the back.
Hierarch, I have never borne witness to so many Zerg. Was this the threat my mother once faced?
No, Matriarch. This threat is a far greater one, and it will take all we have to resist it.
Okay, and I'm going to start getting some extra Avengers to sit on the outskirts. We could also use normal Zealots, too. They're a little cheaper. Not much, though, in terms of minerals, so I'm not too concerned about that. And then over here, I'm going to start setting up lots of monoliths as well. And we have to be careful we don't accidentally let stuff get depowered, because that would be a sort of disaster. Alright, set up. And don't forget shield batteries. Okay, and then the hybrid are going to get smoked by a lot of our Avengers as well. This needs to be set up right now, because we're lacking... I'm going to get an extra pylon in case that one in the front gets destroyed. I mostly have that just set up so that I can warp in the Avengers in the front. Okay, and now I'm going to start cramming extra monoliths in the back, and let's just keep pulling off probes. I can also change my chrono boosts to go on gateways instead. Alrighty, here we go. Now it's monolith time. I'm spending my money, I think, pretty effectively. Alright, don't get, you know, you're really jumping out there. Eventually, yeah, where these guys are going to be respawning so quickly. I want to be a little more observant of the stuff that's happening back here, which is probably where I'm going to focus most of my orbital strikes. I need more, I need more stuff everywhere, let's be straight, but it seems like back here is going to be the main area that needs stuff. I'm going to keep, again, we're going to keep some Dragoons kind of out in the front, too, with enough room that they can be reinforced. Some Mutalisks tend to come from over here as well. We don't want to wall in these Avengers. Let's get them back over here. This area needs some more as well, so I can just build some more. Again, now it's just about, you know, where can we fit more turrets and how much can we afford? The answer is right now, not much. And where can we use Chrono Surge? I would argue nowhere really effective.
The moment approaches, warriors. The temple is realigning. It will be ready soon.
Hierarch, I have discovered a solarite cache beneath the Zelnaga temple. If we can hold longer, I should be able to retrieve it.
Begin the retrieval process, Karax. We will hold the temple as long as we can.
Okay, and I think we just get another pylon here, kind of a safety pylon. Again, there's the Avengers in the front. They're absorbing a lot of stuff, and then we just grab them, send them back. And then I'm going to cram more, probably shield batteries. Again, I don't want to get these guys stuck. Can they get out? Yes, they can. Excuse me. So now, I think over here is probably the best place. And we're just going to make, you know, several layers deep of extra monoliths back here. Okay, make sure you guys are sitting in the front. No banelings incoming, so we're good. No banelings incoming. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about the hybrid per se. It's really just the baneling waves, because that's what's really gonna fuck us up. Okay, and I'm gonna try to fit even more back there. And you know what? I have energy, so we should use this. You're gonna see that every time we zoom out to use these powers, it's gonna lag terribly. I don't know why I instinctively clicked Chrono Surge. Okay, you can see now they're gonna start to break through a little bit. Let's spend that money. Wherever we can, spend that money. I guess I pulled that guy off of gas. I think we need these guys back. Every time banelings hit, all these Avengers are going to die, which is why, like, stacking them up too much isn't going to be that useful. It's when there's groups of hybrid that come in, then it's worthwhile. Now we start stacking some shield batteries back here, too. Where the monoliths don't fit, we put shield batteries. Photon cannons are less important.
The temple thrums with energy. It is ready.
Solarite retrieval is still in progress. If we can hold on just a while longer.
Okay, looks like I walled this in, so I'm going to kill those shield batteries. Because I want to be able to get these guys out. Okay, if I was a betting man, I'd bet that this side would fall first. So let's set some extra stuff up over here. Probably over in, like this as well. And that's all our Vespines. So now, you know, we can start throwing out some Zealots. Again, this is just to absorb Baneling hits, kind of to bait them, and now we've got a ton of Avengers. You know, I didn't actually plan for this, but I'm glad that this is actually a pretty interesting showcase for the Avengers. To work properly on a map like this, because, again, it's really, like, you have to absorb those Baneling hits to spare your buildings. So this works pretty well. Okay. There's nothing I can do about that lag. I mean, it's not my PC. I think it's just the game. The game is real laggy at this point. Okay, and I'm going to set up just tons of monoliths down the side here, and we can throw in cannons and shield batteries all in the back. Wherever this junk will fit. Now, again, I don't even think I'm going to try for the 2.2. I mean, I could always just you know, play for as long as it takes to lose, just to see how far I'll get, but I'm very skeptical of the 2.2. In fact, I suspect I'll probably be losing right around the 1.8 time period. But in any case, you know, we'll try. Let's wall in with some shield batteries. And then just get some silly cannons all around. Yeah, this is all set up. I walled this in as well, so these Avengers can't help us, but that's okay. We can move them. We can kind of rotate out the different groups. Struggling over here as well. Sort of walled that stuff in. Okay. Good work, Zealots. Again, really just absorbing those Baneling hits. The Avengers, though, are more useful because they can outright kill a lot of the hybrid. If there isn't, even if there is detection, I should say. And then I can also get groups of Dragoons, because even just having these sit out here, I don't think is not useful. Okay, hang on. So let's take a moment here. Oh god, I've got energy, so let's use some orbital strikes. It's not going to be that useful, but it'll help a little bit, right? Soften up these Ultralisks so they die in 1 or 2 rounds. These monoliths, because they shoot so slowly, tend to overkill things a lot. Which means, you know, many of them might target the same unit and end up, you know, again, a lot of the damage is being, well, overkilled. Okay, give me some more. I guess I'm going to keep making Avengers. Okay, we're not going to be able to get out here. We do have a probe that's sort of hiding back there, which I'm pleased with. I think now, with our gateways, we should just make Zealots. And see, yeah, these Avengers are very, very useful. I bet some of these have lasted the whole time since the beginning of the map. 1 or 2 of them may have. I hate this. This is a weak point right here. They may get through to my mineral line if I'm not careful. So let's just bomb this real quick. The Mutalisks tend to come from the same direction, so I'll try to set this back up. They tend to come from the right and not the left. That was a very rude thing to have happen there.
It is done. The Solarite has been successfully warped aboard the Spear of Adun.
Okay, very large groups. We're at 1.5. We're trying to get to 1.8. Let's keep splitting these Avengers back out and get them to the front. I think when in doubt, shield batteries, because they just absorb more heat. Oh my god. Let's just cancel these because they're going to get blown up. The Banelings getting through, really, again, that will do the most damage. Just straight up. There's nothing you can do about it. Avenger, no! Okay, come on down here. I think even if I just got up and left right now, we would make it to 1.8. They wouldn't be able to destroy my whole base before the worst happened. But I don't know. I don't want to speak too soon. Just going to keep making Dragoons. They have a lot to break through here if they legit want to get to the temple. And then they actually have to destroy the temple, so I'm pretty sure we're okay. I'd love to get these Avengers out front. Instead, let's move them up here instead, because we got to keep rotating where they're coming from. I should just save my... I really should just save my orbital for the Baneling waves. If I see those Baneling waves incoming, that's when you should destroy them. Again, I'm kind of hesitant to spend much money here, because I don't see a reason to make this go on much longer than it needs to. We're actually depowered here. That's bad. Didn't have enough safety pylons up in this area. Save us, Avengers. This is where you are necessary, because we're losing stuff. Okay. And again, it's sort of just being on the up and up and seeing like, oh, it's a Baneling spawn. Be, you know, like here. So if we do like this and actually hit them, we do like this and hit many of those, because they seem to all come around the same time. You do this, if you can hit the Banelings all, then they'll do way less damage, and then you may have an opportunity to set up more defenses. Which, again, I'm a little skeptical of at this point. But, I mean, why not try, I guess? I was just saying, like, why bother? But, sure. We're at 1.8, so there's our first achievement. But I'm just setting expectations that we're almost definitely, like, there's no way we're going to be able to make it to 2.2. Like, this right here is, this is where the stuff really starts getting heavy, is in the back here with this amount of Guardians. If we had more gateways, we could probably get maxed out. I have plenty of money, but I can't rebuild buildings fast enough. Nexi, with a ton of shield batteries behind them, can survive the Baneling hits. But I think at this rate, we might as well wait for as long as we can. Because we have so many layered turrets. Oh, man, they just totally busted through the front there. It's really, honestly, it's really the Banelings. It's kind of sneaky how they make you kind of think that the main threats are the hybrid. But in reality, it's just clumped up Banelings. They can come through, they just bomb through all of your buildings. Alright, well, you know what, Avengers? Why don't you just stay back? We'll evac you here momentarily. The other interesting thing, too, is once you get to the point where you can overload the temple, if it dies, you don't even have to hit the button. It just automatically assumes you win. So, again, I could just get up and the mission would end one way or another right now. It's no problem. All right, looking good. Oh, these Banelings. Oh, these Banelings. I hate them. It's too many Banelings. Alright, we made it to 2 billion. Let's go. That's a nice number to stop on. I think with Nexus Overcharge we could do this. And Solar Lance.
Templar, initiate dimensional recall. Get to safety, now!
Nidus works. The Zerg are poised to breach the temple.
Have faith, Matriarch. Your fallen people cry out for vengeance, and they shall have it. Of our kind suffer, separated from the glory of the Kala.
Nice. Looking good. I like the exact 2 billion. Yeah, 2.2 is pretty tough at this point. Again, if we would have come back and done Shakuras last with as much Solarite as possible and extra units, probably wouldn't have been as bad, but this was just very tricky. I think we may have been able to do it if I would have also picked Dark Templar and Stalkers rather than all of the Ire units, but I feel satisfied to also have been able to use all of those as well. All right, so we definitely got the Zenith Stones in the first 10 minutes by using Orbital Strike and those Avengers and Dragoons. We did the 1.8 billion. Looks good. Let's go back, talk to everyone. Then we're going to travel to our next destination and talk to everyone again. So anytime we're changing destinations, there's a lot of dialogue we're going through. So here we go, back to the Spear. Vorazun now will permanently join us. I have a general idea of where I want to go next. I think Shakuras was the right choice to go to first, actually.
I cannot believe you survived the fight in the Temple, Hierarch. Did you have some weapons enhancements I did not know about? At least the Nerazim are safe now. I hope we will be able to rescue our brethren on Ire soon. The Narudin Shakuras, you were our salvation, and we will forever remember that. I cannot believe you survived the
so
fight
I think, did we open up a new tier? No, we did not, but we have enough Solarite where if we wanted to, we could pick up Solar Lance and deploy Pylon, which is something. Solar Lance is really good. I will probably using a good amount of it, and at least I'll try to show off the time stop, or whatever it's called, as well.
The Nerazim fought valiantly beside us, even unto the destruction of their world. Why?
Their homeworld has always been Ire. They have never forgotten it, or the sacrifice that delivered them to safety.
You speak of Adun. So saith Judicator Zentheon. Adun failed to eradicate the rogue tribes, those who call themselves the Dark Templar. We witnessed the burst of the Twilight Star. In that treasonous instant, Adun ushered the heretics and himself to fate, purifying ire of their taint, but allowing them life.
Treason? Adun chose mercy rather than committing genocide. This was a noble act, Preserver.
Was it? I see history through the eyes of those who lived it, Artanis.
Perhaps this is why you are blind to all that is before you. History's truths are only ever understood looking through the backwards lens, seeing its consequences take root.
As a preserver, I have always experienced history as a living, breathing now, as those who experienced it in the moment did. Perhaps I should consider the way you view it.
I think there's value in both. All right.
An Arudin, Shakuras.
She seems relatively calm after the planet just blew up.
If only I had heeded Zeratul warning. We lost the Kala, and now Shakuras. Yet we still live, and that is no small gift. If only I had heeded.
Shakuras is gone. It has become one with the eternal night. But the traditions we forged there will remain with us forever.
Is that still possible, Matriarch?
More so than you may realize. What do you know of the Shadow Walk, Artanis?
Little. Your people closely guard their customs.
It is our most sacred rite of passage. The Initiate stands alone. Members of her tribe strike against her from the shadows. If she endures, she becomes a Shadow Hunter, true Dark Templar.
Why do you speak of this?
You stood alone, as Dark Templar, against countless enemies, risking your life for the many. You have walked as we have. You have walked the Shadow Path already, Artanis. You no longer have the Kala. You are Dark Templar.
Yeah, we already had Zeratul's ghosty voice telling us that. Okay, so let's head to our next destination. So we chose to come to Shakuras first because we didn't know it was under attack, but my first thought is, hey, we know the Keystone artifact is on Core Hall, which in theory is safe. We just had a giant disaster happen, so let's go back to Shakuras, let everyone know what happened, kind of circle the wagons, resupply, and then head out. Now, Shakuras is also blown up, so I think my first gut instinct, not knowing what's happening on Core Hall and assuming it's fine, is we're going to go to Glacius and try to get some upgrades first, and then swing by Core Hall, get the Keystone, and move on.
Shakuras has fallen, and Amon's grip tightens. If we are to stand against him, we will need more than warriors. As Hierarch, I was made aware of a location where our Kalai scientists experimented on new weaponry in secret. Within the Glacius facility, the Purifier program has been reborn. We must recover this immensely powerful technology.
And we'll get a new person on the ship.
Glacius facility. Within lies the greatest weaponry the Empire ever developed.
It is the site of the Purifier Revival Program.
Purifiers? The forbidden weapon? They were sealed away by the Conclave, never to be restored.
The ancient purifiers are not kept here, Preserver. They are still locked away. Here, on Glacius, our researchers have been developing prototype weaponry inspired by that ancient technology.
You speak above your caste, Kalai. This is unimaginable heresy.
We are outmatched by Amon's forces and facing annihilation. If this technology may help us, we will use it.
Here, they are attacking the facility.
Amon has unleashed his servants. Ready our warriors.
and then let's chat for a while.
I hope this new technology proves as valuable as it was rumored to be.
What would the Conclave think of Dark Templar weaponry? Surely they would have banned it too.
Glacius, we were never meant to come here, but our need is dire.
The rulings of the Conclave mean nothing to the Nerazim. We must discard the past divisions to pursue the future.
The Tal'Darim will do anything to serve their god. They are formidable opponents.
Every course of action we can take will come at a price.
The Tal'Darim will do...
Every course of action we can take...
The Tal'Darim? They have not been seen since the Aeon of Strife, before the Protoss were united by the Kala's light.
I'm afraid they returned some time ago, Rohana. We thought them fanatical servants of the Xel'Naga for years, but in truth, they had enslaved themselves to Amon.
Why would any being willingly follow Amon?
That is unclear. The Tal'Darim call themselves the Chosen. What Amon has chosen them for, we do not know. They are dangerous foes who have helped forge the hybrid and shed blood in the name of our great enemy.
Protoss turned upon Protoss. The De'ul demands retribution for such offense. They must be destroyed.
If it is their fate, it shall be.
The purifier weaponry that has been researched here could prove to be a valuable addition to our arsenal.
That is what I am hoping. Is there any merit to Rohana's fears?
The Kalai on Glacius have prototyped the technology with successful results. It is said that these experimentations are no different than the Templar they are replications of, a byproduct of quantum predictive analytics.
They were and are still only machines. Do not give them such credence, Karax.
We too are machines of a biological nature. I often marvel at the architecture, the design, the careful construction of our form, our machinery. The Xel'Naga forged us as we forged the original purifiers.
I think he is right. Alright.
I have received word from our scouts. It seems Amon's forces are dividing to conquer separate parts of the sector at once.
Thanks for the scouting update. Alright, when we come back, we will head into Glacius. There is only one mission there, and then we'll head over to Core Hall. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time. This was a longer one. I told you, lots of dialogue, way more dialogue in Legacy of the Void than the previous two. Alright, bye now.